Welcome back, everybody, to another reading of the Militia Standards and Principles of the Lightfoot by Jeffrey Sienkiewicz, founder of the Idaho Lightfoot Militia. This is a part 3. Last time we ended on page 7. We will pick up on page 8. Again, we're going to shoot for 10 to 15 minutes. And let's go ahead and get started. Unit structure. Team. The three-man team is the basic building block of the Lightfoot. It consists of 2 privates led by a corporal, 3 men. Squad. A squad consists of 2 teams led by a sergeant, 7 men. Platoon. A platoon is made up of 3 squads led by a staff sergeant with a radio man. Company. City. 3 platoons make up a company, led by a lieutenant, assisted by the company master sergeant with a radio man. Battalion, county. A battalion consists of 3 companies, led by a captain with a command staff. Regiment. A regiment consists of 3 to 4 battalions, led by a major with a command staff. Brigade. A brigade consists of 3 regiments, led by a colonel with a command staff. Field force. State is the name given to the entire state militia. Idaho is the 43rd state, and as such, is designated the 43rd Field Force. Washington is the 42nd, etc. It is led by the state adjutant general, who is in command of the National Guard and militia. The governor is the commander-in-chief of the state militia. Unit structure. A 3-man team is the basic building block of the militia unit. As the 3-man team is the basic building block of the unit, so then the battalion, county, is the basic building block of the state militia. The command staff is the leadership of the unit and provides planning, training, and issues orders to be carried out by the individual teams. They have a P.O. box, phone number, email, and/or fax, preferably a website as well. Initial organization objectives. The command staff meet once a month to 1. Establish a working relationship between other counties. 2. Establish local and county-wide rapid alert system, security, intelligence, and communications. 3. Organize logistical and administrative services. 4. Institute training program. 5. Recruitment. The command staff's responsibilities include dissemination of constitutional principles and ideology to the rank and file, development and dissemination of training material and methods to be used within the individual teams, development and security of tactical and strategic contingency plans for implementation by the tactical teams, coordination of the various units, development and operation of public relations within the community. Battalion command staff includes XO, Lieutenant, S1 Executive Officer. Second in command, disseminates written communications, orders to subordinate units, handles administrative duties and forms. Lieutenant, S2, Intelligence Communications Officer, maintains and administers the rapid alert system, supervises the counterintelligence program and operational security systems, maintains the security of encoding and decoding systems, supervises intelligence gathering activities, analyzes and reports intelligence information. First Sergeant, S3, Operations Training Officer, establishes and enforces training standards, tailors training to specific mission goals, coordinates with the intelligence officer and develops the threat assessment folder, planning of operations under CO's directions. Master Sergeant, S4, Supply Logistics Officer, responsible for the acquisition and accountability of all supplies and material, supervises all logistical support activities including transport, evacuation, and medical supply service and management. Lieutenant, S5, Liaison Officer, serves as public relations officer, liaison with county sheriff, local officials, and news media, coordinates all interactions between the unit and the public, interviews, public forums, militia open house events, canned food drives, etc. Command staff ranks for higher units. Regiment: S1, Captain; S2, Captain; S3, Lieutenant; S4, First Sergeant; S5, Captain. Brigade: S1, Major; S2, Major; S3, Captain; S4, Lieutenant; S5, Major. Field Force: S1, Colonel; S2, Colonel; S3, Major; S4, Captain; S5, Colonel. Combat Teams: Combat teams shall be comprised of Minutemen, who are physically capable of carrying a full combat load and executing all necessary combat missions. Each Minuteman will pass the Skill Level 1 test and endeavor to complete the Skill Level 2 test as soon as possible. Minutemen must be physically fit enough to keep up with their teammates and complete the mission. Women are prohibited from serving with combat teams in order to maintain unit cohesion and mission readiness, but will still be trained in weapons handling and individual soldier skills, and may serve in security roles or other support, medical, or supply positions. Women and those who have physical limitations or who do not wish to join a combat team shall be placed in a suitable support team. These militia members will still be required to maintain a basic set of web gear and weapon and to train with them. Sword Teams: Select Weapons, Ordnance, and Reconnaissance Detachment. Consists of 6 men who receive extra training in one of 3 areas: Designated Marksman, Land Navigation, or Communications. 2 men in each team will duplicate the necessary disciplines of Shoot, Move, and Communicate. They will carry highly accurate rifles with higher-end optics and night vision. Select Weapons: Study the theory and employment of military weapons they may encounter on a future battlefield, such as grenades, RPGs, mines, etc. Ordnance: and practice in advanced land navigation, compass map reading, and recon techniques. Reconnaissance: all members of the team must be level 3 qualified in both physical fitness and marksmanship, a grade modifier of 33x. Assault pistol qualification is also required. Sword Team Rank Structure: the team leader and assistant team leader must be the 2 members of the team trained in advanced land navigation techniques. They will plan and lead the patrol operations as well as assist in the training of the other members of the team. Team Leader, Master Sergeant; Assistant Team Leader, Staff Sergeant; Comms and Designated Marksmen, 2 each, Sergeant. Since a Select Weapons, Ordnance, and Reconnaissance Detachment is just that, a detachment, members of a command staff, battalion, regiment, etc., cannot serve on sword teams. If a detachment were deployed which contained members of the unit's command staff, it would effectively decapitate the unit, leaving them lacking in key personnel. Support Teams: a support team consists of those who are unable, unwilling, or ill-equipped for Minuteman duty. Their task is to provide whatever support is needed by the other units. Rank and advancement in support teams does not require achievement of skill levels 1 through 3. Medical: the medical team supports operations by setting up and maintaining an aid station to receive and care for sick and wounded. There should be 1 member of each platoon trained as a field medic. Platoon medics should carry the same loadout as the battalion medic, see appendix. Field medics must see to it that a preventative medicine program is instituted and adhered to. Field sanitation and personal hygiene must be of paramount importance. Supply and Logistics: the support team supports the unit by procuring and delivering needed equipment and provisions. They may also be used as messengers between the CO and the tactical units, or as truck drivers and other personnel involved in the transport of men and material. Resupply is a particularly important consideration for all mobile units and for protracted emergencies. Each unit should plan and provide for storage and independent caches of the following: food, fuel, clothing, boots, shelter, medical equipment, combat equipment, arms, ammunition, and communications equipment. Religious support: chaplains are to the militia as Bibles are to Christians. They provide the necessary guidance and direction as it concerns our relationship with our Father in heaven. They perform services in the field, lead prayer at public events, They can be relied upon to give a word of advice, a sympathetic ear, or a strong shoulder, depending on your need. Each battalion should have a chaplain holding the rank of lieutenant. They are officers and should be respected as such, but barring an assistant or two, chaplains do not have command authority over militiamen. Unit geography. The county being the basis of local control in a state, the Lightfoot units shall be organized by counties. Each county shall constitute a battalion of militia, each battalion being made up of 3 companies. See unit structure, chart page 10. Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. Alpha company shall be based in the county seat. Bravo in the next largest city. Charlie the next, and so on if needed. Militiamen in the outlying areas of the county will join with the company closest to them. Above battalion county level, 3 or more counties will assemble a regiment. 3 regiments shall form a brigade. There will be multiple brigades covering each state. Battalion numbering system. A very well thought out numbering system for all counties in each state in the nation has been provided by our friends at www.awrm.org and has been adopted by us for use at the battalion level. See the How to Start a Lightfoot Unit page on our website for a link to download the number system PDF. www.lightfootmilitia.com. That has been part 3 of the Militia Standards and Principles of the Lightfoot. Please go to lightfootmilitia.com to get your own free copy of the Militia Principles and Standards of the Lightfoot. I don't get anything out of this. This is just for whoever out there needs it. And we will see you in part 4. Thank you so much, and bye-bye. Ciao.